Hello everyone. I'm Ted. And today we will be discussing Chapter 22, Emerging Issues and Challenges. And in this chapter we will be discussing Technology and HR, High-tech jobs, New skills, Outsourcing, Collaborative work, Telecommuting, Flexible work schedules, Internet and Intranet, Virtual organizations, Temporariness, Outsourcing and Offshoring, Positive outcomes, Risks and challenges, Human resource outsourcing, Ethics in HRM, Employee surveillance, monitoring, Employee privacy issues. Let's start. Technology and HR. An organization's technology is the process by which inputs from the organization's environment are transformed into outputs. Technology includes tools, machinery, equipment, work procedures, and employee knowledge and skills. In the present competitive world, technological breakthroughs can dramatically influence organizations' products, services markets, suppliers, distributors, competitors, customers, manufacturing processes, marketing practices and competitive position. Technology, undoubtedly, has changed the way machines are positioned, tools are handled, data being processed, products that are manufactured and services that are offered. How about its impact on people? Here the impacts are quite dramatic, especially ever since computers have started invading factory space. Some experts predict that in the future technology has the lethal power to displace employees in all industries, especially those in the low-skilled category. For example, voice recognition is helping to replace telephone operators, the demand for postal workers has been reduced severely by address-reading devices, and cash dispensing machines can do 10 times more transactions in a day than bank tellers, so tellers can be reduced in number or even eliminated entirely in the future. For example, American Express has an expert system that performs the credit analysis formerly done by college graduate financial analysts. In the medical field, expert systems can diagnose some illnesses as well as doctors can, and robots capable of performing certain operations are starting to be used. Some examples. Recent technological advances, as we well know, in computers, lasers, robotics, satellite networks, fiber optics, biometrics, cloning and other related areas have paved the way for significant operational improvements. Manufacturers, banks, and retailers, for example, have used advances in computer technology to carry out their traditional tasks at lower costs and higher levels of customer satisfaction. Consider the case of an old economy giant, Ford Motor Company, which is morphing into a new economy animal using web-based technologies to the best advantage. Thanks to the Internet, the old days of being able to concentrate only on the nuts and bolts of the business seem to be over. The winners are going to be companies that move closer and connect well with customers. Take the stunningly successful case of MP3, a freely available standard for the compression and transmission of digital audio. The big guns of the music business like Sony, RCA, and the rest were so confident about their control over the music industry that they could not see the threat posed by a tiny player like MP3.com, which quietly spun its own B-Web. The company did not try doing everything. The B-Web had a combination of content companies, like MP3, manufacturers such as S3, maker of the Rio MP3 player, distribution technologies, like Napster, and, of course, hundreds of thousands of teenagers who swore by the music, but could not pay for it. Thanks to the Internet, customers can now comparison shop for cars online and purchase cars online from a number of distributors, negotiating a deal on terms that are extremely favorable to them. Most consumer electronics and book retailers have to compete on the Internet in addition to location-based competition. The Internet is altering economies of scale, changing entry barriers and redefining the relationship between industries and various suppliers, creditors, customers, and competitors. First, high-tech jobs. More and more traditional factory jobs becoming high-tech, especially in areas such as aerospace, telecommunications, medical instruments, electronics, computers, and even healthcare, etc. These jobs are more demanding in terms of skills, knowledge, and experience. They would compel employees literally to be vigilant and careful so as to avoid costly mistakes that could even threaten the existence of a company. Work is mostly processed through automatic machines, giving very little room for employees to think and act on their own. Workers placed on such high-stress jobs naturally seek respect, love, and attention from management. When neglected, talent might slip away through the back door without even giving notice. Second, new skills and training required. As new technologies are developed and implemented, there is an urgent need to upgrade existing employee skills and knowledge if the organization wants to survive and flourish in a competitive world. Additionally, there will be growing demand for workers with more sophisticated training and skills, especially in emerging hot sectors like telecommunications, hospitality, retailing, banking, insurance, biotechnology, and financial services. For example, service sector employees require different skills than those utilized in manufacturing. They need strong interpersonal and communication skills as well as the ability to handle customer complaints in a flexible way. Third, downsizing and rightsizing. New technologies have made it possible for fewer people to do more work than before. Companies have realized the importance of replace people with machines known as automation long ago. The physical work is cut into pieces and converted into digital commands nowadays, thanks to the introduction of computer information technology in manufacturing processes. As a result of this, many jobs are disappearing faster than one can even imagine. Coupled with a need to go lean and clean, most companies are showing the door to people who fail to acquire new skills quickly. Downsizing, the process by which an organization lays off managers and workers to reduce costs, has become the order of the day. In a tough competitive scenario, companies are forced to adjust the number of employees needed to work in newly designed technological work spots, which is therefore known as rightsizing. The way the work is being handled, thus, has undergone a radical transformation over the years. We are no longer talking about job losses due to economic downturns. We are talking about lean and fit organizations that are able to run the race with competition and emerge as winners. Fourth, outsourcing. To remain cost competitive, many firms are also engaging in an increasing amount of outsourcing. Outsourcing is simply obtaining work previously done by employees inside the company from sources outside the company. If an external source has expertise in an activity that is not strategically critical to our business and is able to do that cost effectively, it is better to outsource it. You can benefit in the form of excellent quality, reliable supply, and low cost. You can also focus exclusively on doing what you are good at, the so-called mission-critical activities, thereby enhancing your own competitive advantage. For example, Dell outsources the manufacture of its computers. It concentrates all its efforts on enhancing its web-based direct sales capability and does not dilute its energies on other aspects of the game. Outsourcing, not surprisingly, is a big hit with many global firms. Companies such as Nike and Reebok have succeeded by focusing on their core strengths in design and marketing and contracting all their footwear manufacturing to external suppliers. Fifth, collaborative work. Due to the steadily progress of technologies and processes for information sharing, communication, and collaboration, and due to the forces of competition and globalization, our work environment has changed considerably over the past 20 years. And it will continue to do so in the future, going into the direction of a more virtualized world. The network, the internet, and the web of people will become the workplace. People will be empowered for seamless, dynamic, and creative collaboration across teams, organizations, and communities through a personalized and mobile collaborative working environment, enabling working from everywhere and at any time. As professionals, technicians, project managers, analysts from diverse locations begin to crack solutions to complex problems requiring expertise and competencies in diverse fields, more and more organizations tend to appreciate the importance of collaborative work in the years ahead. Team-based incentive plans have also made it necessary for all classes of employees to work in close coordination with each other. Sixth, telecommuting. Telecommuting is a work arrangement whereby employees, known as teleworkers or telecommuters, are able to remain at home, or otherwise away from the office, and carry out their work using computers and other electronic devices that connect them with their offices. Many IT companies now allow employees to telecommute or work at home on a regular basis at least 20% of their time. Telecommuters generally are information workers. They mostly perform work relating to analysis, research, writing, budgeting, data entry or computer programming. The increased power and sophistication of modern communication technology, nowadays, is making telecommuting easier and easier. Companies have been able to increase their applicant pool through this mode, and employees have also been able to live further away from cities and gain considerably due to savings in rents, transportation, etc. Another advantage of telecommuting is that it eliminates the need for office space. Distance is not a hurdle for teleworkers. So, companies can hire anyone from anywhere. Firms may hire the best available employees located virtually anywhere in the world for many jobs. Telecommuting gives added flexibility to employees because they can spend 1 or 2 days a week at home and manage personal activities to their satisfaction. They can carry out work with minimum interruptions. Of course, they will miss the fun at the workplace and may even get bored because it is not easy to work all alone without any interaction with colleagues. Managers may also find it difficult to coordinate the work of employees working at different locations. Where face-to-face contact is needed just to seek clarifications, if not to bind them in a meeting, they may find it difficult to organize it in a proper way, especially at short notice. Managers may have to learn new ways of managing people who are remotely connected. Line managers accustomed to managing by observation may find supervising distributed employees quite stressful. Some workers may be taking advantage of being out of sight with a boss. Again, establishing telecommuting policies requires technology. The costs of providing employees with computers, internet access, fax machines, and the like may be prohibitive for some companies. On a lighter vein, there is also the question of who is at work if everyone is telecommuting. Finally, not all jobs are amenable for telecommuting. Jobs with major requirements for customer interaction may require employees to be at work so that they work with their clients and deliver results as required. Seventh, flexible work schedules. Apart from telecommuting, employees also have flexible work schedules available in most modern organizations to suit their lifestyle and individual career choices. The increase in the workforce of dual career couples with children and the increased realization by employees that production needs may be better served by varied schedules, have been largely responsible for the shift in work week scheduling. Through flexible work schedules, employers find it easy to increase employee engagement and motivation. A comfortable work schedule is a popular way of attracting and retaining talent these days in most IT companies. The following 5 flexible work scheduling programs: compressed work week, flex time, job sharing, telecommuting, and part-time work have gained popularity in recent times and require some elaboration at this stage. Flexible work schedules. Advantages: reduced commuting time, reduced transportation costs, reduced traffic at peak commuting hours, reduced child care costs, remain connected to family, fewer on-site employees leading to cost savings. Attract and retain talent using flexible schedules as an attractive option. Increased employee satisfaction and motivation. Disadvantages: out of sight, out of mind, employees may take undue advantage of the situation. Employee productivity may suffer. Unproductive hands may be shown the door every and then. Working alone at home may prove to be stressful for employees who miss the fun at work. Team atmosphere and camaraderie cannot be maintained. Technology-related expenses may prove to be prohibitive. Unions may vehemently oppose. Managers may find it difficult to control distributed workforce. A compressed work week. Companies all over the globe have started using compressed work weeks in response to customer demand for extended hours of service or employee demands for flexibility. A compressed work week is any scheduling of work that allows a full-time job to be complete in fewer than a standard 5 days. The most common form of compressed work week is the 4-40, that is, 40 hours of work accomplished in 4 10-hour days. Another consists of 4 12-hour workdays in a 4 days on/4 days off schedule. Such a schedule offers workers 2 4-day blocks of time off every 16 days. This added time off is the source of most benefits associated with compressed work week plans. The individual often benefits from increased leisure time, more 3-day weekends, free weekdays to pursue personal business, and lower commuting costs. Companies can now offer services on a 24-hour basis without any disruption, e.g. hospitals, police forces. The organization can benefit, too, in terms of reduced energy consumption during 3-day shutdowns, lower employee absenteeism, improved recruiting of new employees, and having extra time available for building and equipment maintenance. On the negative front, employees may complain about increased stress and fatigue due to prolonged working hours. Many may have to skip their family picnic or outing. There would be very little time to pursue activities close to their heart. Possible constraints on utilization of compressed work week schedules include occasional union opposition and laws that require some organizations to pay overtime for work that exceeds 8 hours of individual labor in any one day. B. Flexible working hours. Flexible working hours or flex time offers employees the option of choosing daily starting and ending times, provided they work a certain number of hours per day or week. There is considerable amount of freedom given to employees to schedule their work. There is, however, a core period during the morning and afternoon when all employees are expected to be on the job. Typically, flex time plans require employees to work a common core of hours such as 9 a.m. to 12 noon and 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Scheduling of remaining hours within certain spans such as 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is then left up to the employees. Workers find it useful since they are able to connect with their families more frequently. They can avoid commuting during peak hours and reach office leisurely. They get an exhilarating feeling of having gained control over their work, which acts like a morale booster all the while. Employees can also schedule their working hours for the time of day when they are most productive. They can adjust their work to suit their particular lifestyles as well. Flex time schedules, generally speaking, have been well received and have been linked to improvements in performance and job satisfaction as well as drops in employee turnover and absenteeism. For employers, flex time provides ease of scheduling, reduced overtime costs, higher productivity because of increase in morale. It is an effective recruiting tool. Not surprisingly, a study by Hewitt Associates found over 75% of large companies offering flex time benefits to their employees. C. Job sharing. Job sharing is a work arrangement in which 2 or more employees divide a job's responsibilities, hours, and benefits among themselves. During periods of financial difficulty, some companies may reduce the hours that some of their full-time employees work by moving them to job sharing arrangements. Job sharing can prove to be very challenging for HR if certain precautions are not taken in advance. First, not all jobs are amenable for job sharing. Second, you need to identify those jobs where work hours and responsibilities can be split. Third, there is need to locate matching partners who have complementary scheduling needs and skills. Again, employees who share work must be reliable and dependable. If not, the workflow would suffer. Finally, people who share work must maintain good communications and stay in contact through phone calls, written updates, email, and voicemail, etc. Not all employers are willing to welcome job sharing due to certain practical difficulties. They may not want to employ 2 people to do the work of one because the time required to orient and train a second employee is an added burden. What happens when one of the employees turns out to be a cheat or a fake, not doing any work at all? There is also the question of who will share after work or weekend obligations. If the job sharer proves to be nut and fails to deliver results, the organization would be at the receiving end. D. Part-time work. There is another work schedule of increasing prominence and controversy in the United States. Part-time work is done on a schedule that classifies any employee as temporary and requires less than a standard 40-hour work week. It is estimated that as many as 12 million people, or 13% of American workers, do part-time work. Some 70% of them are females. Part-timers are usually easy to release and hire as needs dictate. Because of this, many organizations use part-time work to hold down labor costs and help smooth out peaks and valleys in the business cycle. Part-time work provides benefits both to employers and to society. Employers find that the use of part-time employees allows for greater flexibility in scheduling, more accurate matching of the workforce to the workload, and substantial cost saving because part-time worker usually receives no statutory benefits. Society benefits because involuntary unemployment, consequently, is reduced by providing opportunities to workers who would otherwise be unable to obtain employment. The major disadvantage to part-time work is felt by employers in increased costs and union opposition. Benefits mandated by the government, such as unemployment compensation and social security benefits, must be paid for each worker regardless of his working status. Consequently, several part-time employees fulfilling the job of one full-time worker may be more costly in benefit administration. Finally, unions sometimes object to the use of part-time employees because it reduces the job opportunities available for their members. 8th, Intranet revolution, and virtual organizations. Internet and information technology have enabled companies to become more competitive by cutting costs. Manufacturers, banks, and retailers have successfully harnessed computer technology to reduce their costs and deliver goods and services to customers at an amazing speed. The cumulative impact of new technology is so dramatic that at a broader level, organizations are changing the way they do business. Use of the internet to transact business has become so commonplace for both large and small companies that e-commerce is rapidly becoming the organizational challenge of the new millennium. Managing virtual corporations and virtual workers in this technology-driven world is going to pose tough challenges for managers in the years ahead. A virtual organization is a network of companies or employees connected by computers. It is a highly flexible, temporary organization formed by a group of companies that join forces to exploit a specific opportunity. After all, technologies are changing so quickly and skills are becoming so specialized these days that no one company can everything by itself. So they join forces to form a virtual outfit, consisting of knowledge workers from different parts of the world. Virtual workers work from home, hotels, their cars, or wherever their work takes them. Managers need to develop new skills in order to deal with knowledge workers who work on common projects on a temporary basis without any face-to-face interaction. Virtual teams have to be built from scratch, paying attention to their unique requirements. The concept of employment needs to be replaced by the concept of partnership, especially when most tend to work independently away from the permanent employees or owners of the organization. 9th, temporariness. To compete with global players, firms have realized the importance of remaining lean, fit and flexible. Companies have learned, after having seen the ups and downs in economic cycle quite frequently in recent years, the art of living for the day. There is evidence of temporariness in almost everything and anything organizations do today. Jobs are redesigned, more and more tasks are handled by flexible teams, non-core activities are shifted to subcontractors and temporary workers. Workers are made to update their knowledge and acquire new skills in sync with the changing dynamics of the workplace. Most employees are made to learn everything so as to slip into roles that are loosely defined. Global competition is putting pressure on most companies to shut operations of businesses almost instantaneously that have failed to live up to expectations of customers. In a dynamic world characterized by variety, complexity, and unpredictability, companies have to run the show in a flexible and spontaneous manner. Technology, to cut short a long argument, is changing the face of HRM, altering the methods of collecting employment information, speeding up the processing of that data, and improving the process of internal and external communication. It is also impacting the way the jobs are being processed with a view to achieve operational efficiency. In this race to cut down costs, improve productivity levels and enhance customer satisfaction, organizations should be careful enough to introduce new technologies in a phased manner, taking employee concerns into account. Increased global competition, of course, is compelling most organizations to restructure, engineer work processes, Introduce total quality management and build flexibility into work schedules in order to remain competitive and cost-effective, in spite of the painful consequences on employees in the initial stages. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. This video is brought to you by Bookstune. Like this video to encourage us. Share this video to spread the knowledge. And subscribe to this channel for latest update.